I thought I was about to die, in a basket, dangling over a mountain. And the worst part is that my parents paid for it. Hey, I'm Daniel from Travels Unfiltered, and I will never set foot in a hot air balloon ever again. Once was enough. Here's how it all went horribly wrong. We were in China, Yunnan province, lush forests, towering mountains, beautiful vistas, nature doing its absolute best to distract me from my future trauma. It was 2012, I was a kid on a family holiday, blissfully unaware that this trip would haunt me for the rest of my life. I had no say in the itinerary, I was just sort of along for the ride. Maybe if I did know what was coming, I would have faked an injury and stayed in bed. The day actually started off like a dream. We were in Tengchong Volcano Park, and we did this super touristy but undeniably epic thing where we hired horses and rode our way up the mountain to the summit. It wasn't exactly like Aragorn levels of horse mastery. The horse was basically just on autopilot, but it still felt cool, like a medieval knight or something. And then I spotted the hot air balloons. Now, this is where things start to unravel. Have you ever had that little voice in your head that screams, bad idea? Yeah, mine was on full volume. But did I listen? Of course not. I mean, I was an excited kid surrounded by other excited kids, and peer pressure is a very real and very powerful thing. So we decided to have a go. We approached the operators, and looking back, I could actually see in their eyes that sort of like, we really shouldn't be doing this look. The wind was picking up, and apparently riding in a hot air balloon after a certain time of day on this specific mountain is a really bad idea, and if you do it, you're basically asking to get thrown into oblivion. But we were tourists with wallets and enthusiasm, so they said, you know what, sure, just a quick one, just up and down. Now, was that a red flag? Absolutely. Did my parents care? Not in the slightest. Now here's the part that haunts me most. I had an out. I didn't have to do this. Some of the group was staying on the ground. My well-documented fear of heights was waving frantically like a ground staff at an airport guiding a plane. But for reasons I will never understand, I went, sure, let's go up in a wicker basket hundreds of feet in the air over a mountain. Have you ever made a decision that you regret so bad that you feel it in your soul almost a decade later? We ascended. Instantly regret. The basket was rickety, overcrowded, swaying. The burner was right above my head. Every blast to keep us airborne was like a personal assault on my hairline. I literally spent the entire flight staring directly at the floor of the basket, disassociating with all my might. Everyone else was gasping at the beautiful views. I was just gasping. And then it happened. The wind inevitably picked up. Not the kind of gentle breeze, but you know, the kind of gust of wind that makes you question every decision you've ever made up until that point. The basket starts swaying, lurching violently. Everyone else, by the way, was still just gushing about the views. They didn't even notice. They were like, oh, look, the mountains. Oh, the valleys are so beautiful. And I was like, yeah, they'll be really beautiful when we slam into them at high velocity. But here's the weird thing. In that moment of pure terror, when I literally thought I was about to die, something snapped. Maybe it was a survival instinct, maybe it was temporary insanity, but I thought, if this is how I'm gonna die, I may as well see what all the fuss is about. So I lifted my head, just for a second. And okay, fine, it was spectacular. The mountains were like green giants poking up through the clouds. The forest was like an epic carpet stretching as far as the eye could see. For exactly 3 seconds, I understood why people might do this sort of thing for fun. And then another gust of wind hit us, and those few seconds of appreciation were gone, replaced with my thought of the headline, "Teen dies in very predictable hot air balloon crash." The pilot was disturbingly calm, too calm for the situation. It was the kind of calm that either means I do this every day, or I've completely given up. Neither of those options was particularly reassuring, but the landing. Oh, the landing. The wind had dragged us so far off course. Where we were about to touch down was nowhere near where we were supposed to be. I watched the ground crew sprinting towards us like it was an Olympic event, all juggling ropes and pulling to try and stop us careening into the mountainside. But we survived. Barely. I stumbled out, probably kissed the ground a few times, and then we probably went and ate some delicious dumplings or something. Looking back, as much as I appreciate my childhood travels, I do wish I could go back and sort of re-experience this with my adult mindset. Maybe I would have actually spent more time enjoying the view instead of praying to every deity that I could think of at the time. But hey, that's the magic of travel. You go on adventures, make memories, collect near-death experiences, and then wish you could go back and do it all again. Now that you've heard about my terrifying balloon disaster, you're gonna wanna go and listen to Desi's top 10 travel disasters video. Because if you don't, you might just find yourself scammed out of $5,000, stranded, crying alone in a cafe, just like she was. She'll tell you all about it right here. Thanks for watching.